Zirkzee flies out to Manchester for his medical tomorrow morning. Then the deal will be announced. Casemiro to Saudi, finally beginning. Saudi clubs now know their transfer budget for the window and they're officially going to make moves. Will the Casemiro exit speed up? I believe so. More news coming in on Dani Olmo to Manchester United interest there. But Xavi Simons to Man United. Man United apparently hot and working on a Xavi Simons deal. And Christopher Vivel that's just come in, obviously formerly worked at Leipzig. What's the latest on De Ligt? Toby Collier's new deal and could play a big part in pre-season and Ten Hag's plans along with Harry Amas. What is the latest on Agate? This is your 10-minute transfer roundup where we'll be rounding up all the transfers as well as some announcements on Ruud van Nistelrooy and more. So please do hit the like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Every evening throughout the transfer window when there's relevant news, I'll be summing up all the news that's gone throughout the day in less than 10 minutes for you guys. All the relevant news from reliable sources, starting with Zirkzee. Zirkzee, here we go. Done deal. Confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein earlier today. I'm sure you're aware. What is the latest on Zirkzee? When will it be announced? Well, Joshua Zirkzee is set to fly to Manchester. Joshua Zirkzee will undergo a Manchester United medical on Friday ahead of his proposed transfer to Bologna, say David Ornstein. And David Ornstein said that Zirkzee is scheduled to fly into the UK tonight to undergo a medical, and that Zirkzee's deal is €42.5 million spread over 3 years. We've given them €2.5 million just so we can structure the deal, and that Zirkzee will have a face-to-face meeting with Erik ten Hag after his medical tomorrow, is what was first said. I do apologise if we just got a little bit of lag there, but to summarise that, Zirkzee is on his way to Manchester. He's probably already landed in Manchester by the time you're watching this video. He's got his medical Friday morning, which is tomorrow morning, or when you're watching this video, could be when you're watching it. He's going to have a face-to-face meeting with Ten Hag tomorrow, and then they're going to summarise everything for, I'd assume, an announcement Saturday. Maybe it could be Friday, but I would probably assume an announcement would be on Saturday as well. It was then just confirmed by Chris Wheeler just now that Zirkzee is flying to Manchester ahead of his medical tomorrow as well. So Zirkzee probably is landing in Manchester as we speak. What is the next story coming in? Well, as I said in the beginning of today's video, Saudi clubs learnt their budget in the last few weeks in regards to how much they can spend in the summer. So obviously the transfer window is really going to heat up in terms of Saudi and in terms of exits as well. Now, the report fee going about is it's going to cost Saudi €35.7 million to buy Casemiro. Man United want around €40 million for him this summer, and they'll also save $20 million in wages if they do sell Casemiro. Now, Saudi clubs are apparently sort of willing to pay around a $30 million fee for Casemiro. Now, Fabrizio Romano himself has said that Saudi Pro League clubs are interested in Casemiro. It's still very strong, and that according to other sources, Al Ittihad have started discussions to sign Casemiro as well. I believe Casemiro will leave Manchester United this window. Fabrizio Romano said for months that he expects Casemiro to leave and go to Saudi. We know Casemiro has been interested in the Saudi move. We know the last few weeks Casemiro's agent has been talking to Saudi clubs, and we said in my live show 3 days ago, I think, that it was going to advance Casemiro to Saudi because his agent was in talks with Saudi clubs. Man United, particularly Ineos, the new regime, they kind of want Casemiro moved on. He's not really got the legs. He didn't have the best season. He's on high wages, $20 million a year. They want to restructure the wage bill. That's why they didn't let Varane stay on another year. Even though Varane had a much better season than Casemiro, and I would have kept Varane for another year because they want a younger, sort of fresher look. And Casemiro knows that he just didn't really end best at United. He's open to a move away. I expect that this deal will happen. There's always been a few question marks over how advanced it is, but I have a feeling Casemiro probably will end up in Saudi Arabia, and United will probably get around £30 million for him as well, and that will probably be invested into Agate. But they are looking at other more attacking-minded midfield options that could potentially play on the wings in Xavi Simons and Dani Olmo, two players that were at LB clubs. Now, Jack Talbot said earlier today, and we said this in my live show, that Manchester United are heavily interested in pursuing a deal for Dani Olmo. He has a release clause of €60 million. And then Ben Jacobs and Give Me Sport then further confirmed this, that United have an interest in Dani Olmo. They know his release clause. They're interested in the deal. Now, maybe it's one to keep an eye on with Christopher Vivel and the RB Leipzig sort of links. He is a good player, but I do think he won't be a priority because of the positions we have, the players we have in those positions, like Bruno Fernandes, and with Mata, do you want to stick him on the wing when he's a central attacking midfielder? I really do like the guy, and I think Man United are looking at potentially more versatile wingers that could also play as a number 10, with, Desiree Doué potentially being able to play number 10, but he is predominantly a winger, whereas I feel that maybe the likes of Olmo is predominantly a number 10. Now, a guy that is definitely probably more comfortable on the wing than Dani Olmo and probably can play on the left, and with Garnacho doing well on the right, potentially maybe some more competition on the left isn't too bad, is Xavi Simons. It was said that Manchester United line up a short move for Xavi Simons. He faces a big decision over his future now with Man United hot on the heels. Now, Tom Barkley, I don't know how reliable this source of information is, so for now, take it with a pinch of salt. We're saying we're hot on the heels for Xavi Simons. There's reports that United are ready to move quick for Xavi Simons. Now, Netherlands are out. I mean, we really like our Dutch players if that's the case. Now, obviously, I've always made it clear I really like the idea of Xavi Simons at United, but I have a feeling he's Bayern Munich bound and he wants to stay in the Bundesliga, not the Premier League as far as I'm aware. I feel like he's happy to stay in the Bundesliga. But what we do know is Christopher Vivel's come in and he's doing recruitment, formerly at the RB clubs, familiar with the RB players. It was said about a year ago, or under a year ago, it was said in September 2023 that if Xavi Simons didn't return to PSG, Man United were in pole position to sign him, and that was said by Fabrizio Romano. He's confirmed that we've always had a bit of an interest in Xavi Simons. And then obviously it was said a few days ago that Manchester United are looking at PSG Xavi Simons, according to Sky Sports. So Manchester United have always had, you know, a fair amount of interest in Xavi Simons. It's definitely one to watch, especially because it could be done on loan. We're considering Agate on loan. We've had talks with PSG. I'm sure we've had talks over Xavi Simons and potentially a loan deal there. Definitely one to watch, but I think it depends on what the player wants, and apparently he really wants to stay in the Bundesliga and was happy in the Bundesliga, so we'll have to wait and see. But I would like the idea of Xavi Simons coming in, can play central, can play left, can play right, absolute baller of a player. So let's keep an eye on that one. I think him, Desiree Doué could be the most likely ones to watch in terms of the wings as well. I'm not too sure about the Dani Olmo news, but that is coming in from more sources. The latest on De Ligt. What is the De Ligt latest? Fabrizio Romano said about an hour ago that Manchester United and Bayern are close to reaching the agreement on a fee for Matthijs De Ligt. Talks are progressing. Bayern are assisting on around 50 million euros, with United structuring the proposal plus add-ons. So more updates and advancements on Matthijs De Ligt to Manchester United, which is good. It seems to be going positive. I assume a done deal next week. Apparently the structure is making it more difficult. Not expected to be a done deal in the next 48 hours. Expected to be a done deal early next week. Now we're going to talk about the youth, because Man United do have some exciting plans for the youngsters and Harry Amos and Toby Collier, and then we'll get back into the Agate news and the latest news. It was said that Harry Amos is highly thought of at Manchester United. United regard Toby Collier as a player with first-team potential. Toby Collier has signed a new deal at United. Harry Amos, I'm sure you're all aware of him, the Luke Shaw regen. They're two players that Ten Hag looks to be giving minutes to at DM and left-back in pre-season. And considering our lack of options there and how thin it is, and that Toby Collier could be a good partner for Kobbie Mainoo if he reaches his potential, I'm excited to see these guys in pre-season. First preseason matches on Monday. Make sure to subscribe because we'll be covering the preseason games. Erik Ten Hag in training was also spotted with Toby Collier, and Ten Hag spoke a lot in training. You could see him training with Toby Collier. There's some footage of them in training, and Ten Hag is saying, as we have done before, slide the ball on the right foot, you're already there, and the third man, and slide the ball with the left foot, and then two strong passes, and then the last slow pass. They're working on sort of build up and movement from midfield, it seems, in training. It'll be exciting to see that be replicated into pre-season. So what is the latest on United's transfer plans? I want to get back into the latest on Agate and other deals. It was said that Man United are in negotiations for De Ligt. With Zirkzee done, the expectation is for United to get De Ligt done soon. United is still discussing with PSG and agents about Manuel Agate. Conversations ongoing. Man United are very strong in the market, also with outgoings, with, you know, obviously Casemiro outgoing, advancing, Greenwood to Marseille essentially done, and Juventus expected to step up for Sancho. West Ham have interest in Wan-Bissaka, and Lindelof's agent has been having talks elsewhere. Outgoing seems strong at United. Now, one player we're interested in bringing in is Agate. We do need a DM, and we saw with Kobbie playing next to Declan Rice, do someone that can do the dirty work at the back so you can unlock Kobbie Mainoo because he's a top player. It was said by Florian Plettenberg when he was on Stretford Paddock that he can confirm the interest from Man United and Agate is very concrete. There are talks about the deal structure for Manuel Agate. Maybe it's a loan with an option to buy, maybe it's permanent. Athletic said loan option for Manuel Agate is also being seriously contemplated. So United having talks about Manuel Agate. They've got the green light from PSG saying, look, we want to sell Manuel Agate. They've also know that Agate wants to come, whether it's a deal we buy. There's rumours of it being 35 to about £40 million. Whether it's a loan, have to be seen. We're probably talking with PSG about the structure of the deal. Now, let's dive into the next story, and that is that Ruud van Nistelrooy and Rene Hakke have finally been announced as United coaches, and it's great to have them in. Dan Ashworth said this, he said, together with Eric, we're working to strengthen all areas of our men's first team operations, and refreshing the coaching staff is an important part of that. It's particularly a pleasure to welcome back Ruud to the club where he enjoyed so much success as a player. I know that he and Rene will will help reinforce the winning mentality and high standards we are aiming for. So good to see that Man United have got best-in-class people in recruitment, best-in-class people in the coaching staff. And, you know, Zirkzee, I think, for me, was the perfect signing when you look at the age, when you look at the budget, when you look that we have priorities elsewhere as well, when you look at the profile, he brings something different. So far, really happy. Let's just get those outs to push along. Maybe we can make a massive statement of signing Lenny Euro. I will cover that in my live show tomorrow. But thank you guys for watching today's late 10-minute roundup. I hope you do enjoy these 10-minute roundups. I do apologise if you got a little bit of lag early in the stream. But as long as there's decent amount of transfer news coming out from reliable sources, I will keep up these late shows 10 minutes every evening. So subscribe if you like that. Thank you for watching. Bye.